SugarB, thanks for coming to my channel, and today my crafting project is needle punch. So I have picked this pattern with me today. It's a leaf pattern and it is 8-inch, so it's not big at all. So I probably will done by a couple hours. And if you are a beginner to punch needle, I recommend you find some kit online and that has everything in it. Especially you need an instruction with it, and so you can learn it step by step. So on this table, I put out all of the supplies we need for this project. This is the instruction that came with the kit. And some yarn balls. Also, a hot glue gun. I will show you why we have a hot glue gun here later. This pattern is 8-inch, so we have an 8-inch plastic hoop, which will grab the fabric much more stronger and tighter than the bamboo one. So when I open it up, you can see there's tongue and groove. That's why it can lock your fabric in there. But for the bamboo one, when I unscrew it, you can see the surface is actually flat and also thinner than the plastic one. That's why I choose the plastic one for this. Step 1. Stretch the cloth into the hoop. Align the pattern with the center of the ring. Then place the ring back into the hoop. Now we're gonna stretch the cloth to make it tight and flat. This first step is super important because we're gonna use this hoop to do display later. So you wanna make sure the pattern is in the center. And also the surface needs to be as tight as a drum surface. But later if they're getting loose, you can re-stretch and retighten it. I'm doing a couple adjustments just to make sure that it is super tight over there. This already looks like ready to go to me. Okay, now we'll keep going. So for this pattern, I'm gonna start with the big green area. Look at this pretty dark green color. What I'm doing now is loosening the yarn so I can get plenty of slack yarn to start with. Step 2. Threading the needle. This is a really basic wood punch needle tool. It came with a wire, which is a threader. So we're gonna insert this threader wire into the body of punch needle until the loops and comes out from the other side, and place the yarn inside of this loop and gently pull it out. And now you probably noticed there's a little holes on top of the metal parts. We're gonna do this kind of step again. So insert the threader through this tiny little hole. And then place the yarn inside of the loop. Pull the threader back through the eye. For the little tails, we're gonna leave 2 to 3-inch one. Now you can keep your threader wire for the future use. Step 3. Punch, lift, drag, and punch. Push the sharp tip of the tool straight down into a hole, and then flip to back, pull your short tail out from the back, keep it over there, but do not do any tights. And then you just repeat the steps. Punch, lift, drag, and punch. We're doing the outlines first. So repeat the step again. Punch, lift, drag, and punch. And go back to check your old stitches. If there's anything that you don't like, and you just lift it a little higher to release the last stitch and then redo it again. The little holes don't worry about on fabric because you're gonna cover off by the yarn anyways. And now you already know how to do punch needle. It's not that hard, isn't it? There are a couple keys that you want to know before you do a lot of stitch. One is drag on the surface, so make sure when you drag, stay the tool on top of the surface. That means don't lift too high above the material. And then when you punch, make sure you push the tool all the way down on the fabric so that way the stitches can be consistent. Make sure you have some slack of yarn to fit through. Now this is my first corner I'm gonna do. I need a changing the direction. What I'm gonna do is I rotate the hoop to the direction that I feel comfortable with, and also rotate the needle that I have and make sure the needle facing forward. The bevel side is the needle's front. Now here is my second turning point. Look at what I did. Same thing. Rotate the hoop and rotate the tool with the bevel side facing into the direction that you are working with. That is really important. And now we have a third turning point. You just kind of have to rotate the thing and follow the pattern and keep forward to finish the whole outlines first. It is kind of fun and relaxed after you know how to do everything. And now we're coming to do the second layer for the outlines. What I would do is just keep doing it until I fill up the whole area. For the second layer, you don't want to do what I did just now because there's too much space and gaps in between. If this happens, just lift it up higher and higher and pull the yarn back and restart it. So for the second layer, you do want to be the stitches staggered together, just like building bricks. So I will slow this video. You can see you lift it up and punch. The spot I'm punching is in between the last stitch, so the outline stitch lines. This is how they look on the back, and that's the front. We're just keep doing until we fill it up the inside. And for right now, if you need to change in the direction or refill your thread, don't worry, you can cut it out from the back, just like this, and then pull it to 2 to 3 inch and restart from another direction. Right now, the leaf style we made is a little thicker looking than the pictures, but don't worry about it because we haven't filled up the outside color. Once we fill up the outside white color and this pink color, it will look like a leaf. When I filling up the blocks, I always start from outside and a layer from outside working towards the inside. So that's the way that I fill it up. But if there's a square space, some people will do the horizontal way. So you fill up the first row and then rotate to the second row and third row, just like an S shape, and continue. And now we're moving towards to another color, which is the pink one on the right side. Maybe that looks like a pink to me. So it's the same thing. You need to left a 2 to 3 inch tail and make sure your stitches are staggered together. So for the outlines, I usually do 2 to 3 holes in between each stitch. But for the inside, you can leave your stitch a little bit larger. So I would recommend 3 to 4 holes on the cloth. It is really satisfying to watch a block of blank color got filled up. So it's just like getting thicker and thicker until it filled up. The step 4 is clean up touches. So on the back, because of the little tails are longer, so we're gonna trim that down and make sure the back looks even. And also for front, if you see any little mistake or little large stitch, you can poke through by your tool and make sure that looks even too. There are many ways to finishing the punch needle. You can leave it on a hook or frame it or attach them to another object like attach on the bag or something, but right now we're gonna leave in a hook. So I'm tracing a bigger circle from the cloth and divide it into many different small sections. Using the hot glue gun, is here. So you're gonna use a hot glue gun to folding the actual fabric into the hook. So make it disappear from front, just like this. This is what I would do for a punch needle, but if the back bothers you, you can use another fabric, cover and sew and glue together onto the back so the back thing won't expose on the outside. There are two different textures on the punch needle. First, the front one is what I'm using right now. It's the stitch, and then back it's this like thicker and raw texture. But if you want to do this one as a front, you can reverse your stitch. Now my project is done. I display on this little easel and it sits on my desk.